Mom lived in the heart of Flint, so we lived in a really, really bad neighborhood. Gangs, drive-by shootings. So I'd started hanging out with gangs. I'd started doing some drugs. Well, my mom's not home, and our stepfather didn't care about us, so I just would leave and go run the streets at night. So as soon as I was 18 years old, I enlisted. I deployed to Iraq for 18 months. Probably one of the worst deployments for a lot of different units. There was a lot of deaths. There were so many IED explosions going off all the time. It was definitely a tough time. I decided to come home, and when I did, it was hard to find a job anywhere. There was all kinds of different hate flags that were up, Confederate, Nazi flags, white nationalist flags. He had flags all up and down his driveway. And he had a swastika burnt into his grass, literally. Ron Chadwell, he was more of like Aryan Brotherhood in a lot of his beliefs. He talked really low, almost mysterious in a way. He was very, very charismatic at the way that he portrayed things. He played on my anger at the time. I was angry at the world. I was angry at what had happened to me as a child and my dad. The fact that my father wasn't in my life. I was angry at the fact that I felt like the Army kind of had abandoned me and didn't do anything for us. Black people aren't our friends. Look how white Europeans have flourished compared to Black communities. I started to believe it. He was under investigation. There was a guy that had joined their group, and they found out later on that he was a Jewish infiltrator. I don't know if he was working for the police, but when they found out who he was, they stabbed him to death and then drowned him. To me at the time, it was like, I felt like people were looking up to me. I had this little group. It really starts to feed into your ego. I think he was misunderstood, and that, he made some mistakes. That I didn't think he was a bad person. As much as I was sitting here and spitting this stuff out to people, deep down, I always had that gut feeling that what I was talking about was just wrong. It just didn't feel right. On the side, we were stealing boat motors. There was already gang task force that were already looking into us and keeping an eye on us. So when they came in, they raided us hard. They came in with AR-15s and pistols. They had my whole street blocked off. It was probably one of the craziest things I'd ever seen in my life. They found 2 of the 4-wheelers that we had stolen. They had me shook. And so I admitted to doing everything. And my uncle was pissed. I was scared. My first time ever being in jail. I didn't know what to do. I had this huge swastika tattoo on my arm. Next thing I know, I get jumped. And I'm getting hit from everywhere, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how to protect myself except for just to cover myself up. But the guys that were part of these hate groups didn't come over to save me. But the one person that did come over to help me out was my cellmate at the time, a Black guy. So from there, we kind of started to build a relationship. He just kind of took me under his wing there for a while. You just need to learn. You need to sit down with some people and learn about some other cultures. I started to kind of reopen my eyes up to the fact that it didn't matter what color of skin you have. It don't matter where you come from. We all make mistakes. We all do stupid stuff, but we're human. Probably one of the hardest moments for me in my life, because one of them actually had me show them my tattoo at the time. I hadn't had it covered up yet. I bawled my eyes out. And it was a deep moment for me in my life. Understand that a lot of these guys have learned psychologically how to talk to you the right ways and try to make you feel comfortable as a friend, but they're not your friends. If somebody tells you something, go out and research it. Go ask somebody else to talk to you about it. What they're teaching you is just propaganda, and it's just to feed their own egos. At the end of the day, that's really all it was, I think, to Ron, was just his ego. And now he got murdered. Having that peace in your heart and love first is going to make you feel so much better at the end of the day than to hold on to hate and anger, because it will eat you up. It tears you up inside, internally, physically.